Hey team, this is George. Appreciate the effort you've been putting into weeks 1 and 2. Can you believe we are into week 3? We're going to be looking at building strength and skills, a collaborative approach to working with clients. I love collaboration. I think it's a big part of what we do. And we're also going to look at the adolescent brain development, part 1 and 2, a couple videos, and then the crash course. I love these crash course videos for psychology. I love crash course videos for just about every topic that they do. I'm a big fan of theirs. They make tough content, thick content, really usable, enjoyable, and sensible. So I just appreciate the way that they do that with the content. And in the discussion, we're going to be talking about adolescent brain development. Everyone's been doing real well with the discussions. I want to even challenge you to even dig a little bit deeper in these. And I'm not saying that because we haven't been. I'm just saying that because we always need to challenge ourselves. That just needs to be a natural part of our mental process as we grow, is to challenge ourselves to get better at everything we do, because the discussions are where we gain context to the content that we're studying. So that's a big deal, and I really enjoy the discussions that everyone's been diving into. And then our case studies, case study number 2 on adolescence. Let's just jump in and take a look at that really. You're going to look at the collaborative approach here, and then you're going to explain why you believe these to be effective approaches. So what do I mean by that? So you're going to write a 1 to 2 page essay, single spaced, and it's going to discuss the top 2 approaches that you believe to be the most effective for Richard based on the situation presented. So you have to take into consideration Richard and the situation, so everything that surrounds, because remember, everything applies pressure. So in our environment, all the external sources apply pressure. So we want to be able to take that into consideration when we're looking at what would work, because what may work normally may not, because of a certain type of pressure being applied from an environmental source. So go in, take a stance. It's always good to take a stance. Stand on one side. Explain why you believe these to be effective approaches. So you're going to state the 2 approaches, and you're going to say, hey, this is why they're effective. Now, what makes that a good argument? Well, what you can use to make that a good argument is an outside source. So if your supporters say this is evidence-based, I've looked at the different environmental issues surrounding Richard, and these 2 would be the optimal approaches for getting results. And when you're supported with documentation, you have evidence. So that means you have an evidence-based approach. And it's hard to argue against that, although people do, but as long as you have your evidence, you can move forward and with a certain amount of surety. Now, that doesn't mean that if you move forward and things aren't changing, you don't adjust, because life is a constant adjustment. It doesn't matter what we're doing. If we're even in our families, if we're a wife, husband, son, daughter, brother, sister, those roles that we're all in, we're constantly adjusting those roles because of all the different pressures and dynamics that happen. So adjustment is necessary, and it's a good thing, because that means that we make things better and better and better. We get it closer to that final, we're closer to getting the results that are needed for Richard, the client. So include at least one technique. So mention a technique. Go ahead, stand out there and say something that would work. Detail specifically how you would incorporate each research technique for the therapeutic approach. So just put it down there. Just say it. Don't beat around the bush or be hesitant. Take a stand, support it, say why it'll work, incorporate it, and you'll do just fine. So far, I've seen some excellent work put in by everybody, so I do appreciate all that hard work and effort. So have a fantastic week.